Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about creating your own rules. Creating your own rules. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, as you all know, I'm in my personal development, learning who I am, learning what I like, what I don't like, the type of people I want to engage with, the type of person that I want to be, etc., etc. And I'm realizing that I follow a lot of rules. I follow a lot of rules just based off of like what other people have told me. And when you're younger, you learn certain like basic values and principles, whether that be from your parents or from school. And you learn, treat others how you want to be treated, make sure that you play fair, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you get older, you realize that not everybody treats others how they want to be treated. Not everybody gets treated equally. The world is not fair, et cetera, et cetera. I have like my bookshelf back there with like 48 Laws of Power and just all the typical books on, things of that nature. But I just wanted to talk about this because I feel like when you first learn that you can kind of do what you want and make your own rules, and when you first learn that you have unlimited power and potential, it's very like, speaking from my experience, it's very confusing. It's like you go back and forth and there's like this internal struggle because for years or for decades you've been thinking a certain way or acting a certain way, and then all of a sudden you're changing over to something else, and it's just like it might work for a little bit, but then you go back, and then when you're switching to your own rules or switching to what you really want to do, there might be like this internal struggle, even though mentally you know and you understand that you want to change, that you don't want to continue doing the things that you were doing, or at least not in the same way. But as it acts out in like physical reality, it's just you either revert back or you just kind of struggle getting the hang of it. So I just wanted to give like a different perspective because I don't know, I feel like whenever I use like different metaphors and analogies and examples, it just helps me. And like it also making these videos, it helps me feel like I'm not alone. And it's a good way for me to document my own journey. So yeah, let's get into it. So an example that I have that I think is really, really good is when you're younger, you see that the sky is blue for most of the day, and you're told that the sky is blue, right? So like when you're growing up, they give you little pop quizzes or you do little activities in kindergarten and preschool, and you understand that the sky is blue. But then you also understand that sometimes the sky can be pink or the sky can be purple or orange, because at sunrise and sunset, the sky changes colors. So is it true to say that the sky is blue? Yes. But would it also be true that the sky could be shades of purple? It could be shades of gray. If it's cloudy outside, it could be, reddish. It could be orange. It could be hot pink. Like it's just so many different things. And I think like just understanding that rules are not black and white. They can be if you need to argue against it, right? Like a lawyer in court, you can argue against something, but it doesn't always have to be that. You can always argue in a different perspective too, or from a different angle as well. And even when people go to court or you have lawyers, sometimes they're arguing for their client and they're not even like, they don't even believe in what they're arguing in, but they'll say what they need to say in order to prove a point and win the case. And that's a whole other analogy. But what I'm basically trying to get to is that you can create your own rules, and it can be true to you and it can be true to your reality, and you can manifest what you want. It's just how much you believe in yourself. And I think that a lot of us have, I don't like making generalizations, but I do think that a lot of us have learned things from our family or from just our environment or the people that we're around. We've learned a lot of things that simply aren't true, and a lot of things that honestly aren't even in our best self-interest. Like, I know, just speaking for women, we're taught to like put others first, and we're taught to kind of put ourselves last, and we're taught to take care of everybody else before ourselves. We're taught to be altruistic, but to the point that it's almost damaging to ourselves. And now what I'm learning is that the more selfish you are, actually, the better it is for everyone else. Like, I'm now starting to learn, one of my rules and one of the things that I'm starting to change and learn is that, okay, if I put myself first, if I make sure that I'm good before anybody else, that is only going to be so much better. If I make sure that I'm looking good, that I'm feeling good, that I'm feeling confident within myself, that I'm, making money, and that I'm comfortable and I'm safe, then that allows me to come out of survival mode and then be able to help others as well, right? Like, so I just think that that's really important because a lot of the things that we've learned and a lot of the things that we've been taught are honestly backwards. And we know this. And a lot of people get frustrated. A lot of people say like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this world. And this is not the world that I was, prepared for. And this is not what I was taught when I was younger. And I've even felt frustration with like feeling like everything that I learned, not everything, but a lot of things that I learned when I was younger aren't even relevant today. Like there's AI now, there's social media. You have people who are opting out of going to college and just going straight to building their businesses and building their brands and working on themselves. And when I was younger, that was not really taught or seen. I was born in the 90s. I didn't have social media until middle school. And even then, there wasn't an influencer. There weren't people showing you different perspectives and different ways to do things, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I think once you understand this, it's easier to then kind of look at things from a different perspective. And it makes life more fun too. It's like, it doesn't have to be stressful all the time. Of course, there's going to be like some friction and some contrast when you start kind of like changing your values and just changing your rules and changing the way that you interact with other people in the world. But there are a lot of moments where it feels freeing and it feels fun and you feel like you can finally be yourself and you can finally walk in a direction that you want to walk in, as opposed to being herded in with a bunch of people in a direction where you think you should be going or what you think you should be doing. Because a lot of us do that, and then we look up and 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years pass, and the next thing you know, you realize that you've played by other people's rules and you haven't really done anything for yourself. So I just want to make this reminder, like, I just want to give you guys a new perspective. Like, the sky is blue, yes, but again, it's also different colors too. And you can really do what you want in this world. You just have to get over that fear. And I do have a book list too. I think I'm going to pin it in the comments, but I do have a book list of different books that have helped me overcome my fears and are helping me currently overcome my fears, because it does feel scary, to live in a box your whole life or live within certain parameters and certain rules and standards. And then, you kind of like open up your eyes, you kind of like take the red pill, and then you're just like, oh my gosh. And then you try to run back and you try to go back inside the box, but the lid doesn't close, because once you know. So, it's just working through and getting over the doubt and the fear and the worry of being judged by others, all those different things. So that's pretty much all that I have to say, you guys. If you want the book list, let me know below. I've curated a book list just of many different categories like health, science, overcoming fears, fiction, education, just so many different things. And I'm really excited to share it. And I hope that everybody had a good holiday. I hope everybody has a wonderful new year. I'm still going to continue to post. We are so close to 100 subscribers. And again, thank you guys for watching. I'm super, super excited. If you haven't already, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.